Recently, I feel like real estate investing is getting up there with Forex on how it's portrayed on social media. There seems to be a takeover with recent strategies coming up and becoming popular like sub 2 or owner financing, where it gets portrayed to the viewer as a strategy to get into real estate with no money down and easy way to make a big chunk of money without having to do like any hard work. And I just want to say that is not true at all. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 4 major topics, and they're really good indicators that right now might not be the best time for you to be investing in real estate. And maybe if it is still for you, it just might be down the road. So I'm going to go over the 4 that are the biggest ones that I think should be talked about a little bit more and actually bring some realization to what I guess real estate investing involves and what you should expect if you're looking to get into it. And before I get into reason number 1, if you learn anything new from this video or it adds any value, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this in the future. So reason number 1 is going to be easy. You don't have enough money. I feel like this one should go without saying and without explanation, but it just doesn't. So here's a quick explanation on it. Really, in any business you're getting into, any investment, whatever it is, most likely it's going to take money to make money. And that holds true with real estate investing. You're going to need money for the down payment on the property. You're going to need money if you have to repair the property before renting it out. And just so you know, when I'm talking about all this stuff, I'm talking about real estate investing in terms of rental properties, not in terms of anything else. So some of this might not hold true for other forms of investing, but with rental properties is where I'm going with this. So you're going to need money to repair the property before renting it out. You're going to need money to actually have on the sideline in case when a tenant is in your property, something goes wrong, you need that money right away so you can repair it and keep making that a livable situation for the tenant renting out your property. So you're gonna need some money saved up, and even the stuff you have saved up, you still need more saved up for the stuff that happens when people are living in your property. I also just want to sneak this in here is like, I feel like it gets portrayed too much that people want to get to the investing part way too fast. You have to have actually extra money in your savings or however be it to actually put that money into investment. Investing should not be like the thing that you're just barely having any savings, so let's put it into investment. Like that should probably still stay in your savings in case you need the emergency. So investing is for extra money. And I know a lot of you are probably screaming through the computer right now at me or the smartphone, whatever you're watching it on. Oh, but I watched this guy Pace Morby and he says you can get into it with zero money and all you have to do is take over people's payments and take over their mortgage and you'll get it free and clear with no money down. That can be true in some circumstances. I'm not saying he's wrong. He's done it hundreds of times as he's proven on his channel, but you're going to have to spend money in some aspect, in some form, whether that be for a down payment or in this case where you're looking to do sub 2 or owner financing. You can't just find those by knocking on the next door you see and be like, hey, you want to sell me your house? I'll just take over your payments and you can just move out. Like you have to find people who are in distress situations and dire need of someone coming and helping their situation. So you're going to have to spend money on lead generation or some type of advertising to actually get in front of that group of people, because it's not just something that, oh, it just comes up every day. Like, trust me, I work full-time as a real estate agent. It's not a circumstance that comes up every single day. Most of the time, people just sell their house the regular route of putting it on the market, paying agents. That's typically how it's done. To actually find that super niche down area that Pace Morby likes to talk about, you have to put a lot of money into finding those people. Number 2 is another simple one, and you have to understand how the investment works. So you have to understand real estate. And like I said, this should be a universal one, but no matter what, you're taking your money, your hard-earned money, and putting it into something to grow and invest in. You should understand how that investment works no matter what it is. But in the case of real estate, you should know how to run your numbers on rental properties. You should know if it actually cash flows. You should be able to tell what the rate of return you're going to get while you hold that property. You should have at least a rough idea in your head of what your long-term strategy is with it. Is it going to be something you hold on to for the 30 years? Is it going to be something that you sell off in 5 and upgrade? Like, have some idea of your exit strategy, even though, as holds true and everyone says it, your money's made on the purchase. So you want to make sure you get a good purchase to make money on the exit. But just have an idea of where you're going to be taking the property is huge to have that in the beginning. And with understanding how it works, you have to become an expert in whatever market you're looking in. It doesn't have to necessarily be your local market you live in. If you're investing out of state, well, you have to become the expert in knowing how that works. You have to know all those numbers. You have to know what rents for. How much does a 1-bedroom rent for versus a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? You have to know all this stuff so that when an opportunity does rise, you can jump on that thing and be like, yes, this deal works. I know I'm going to make money. Here's my offer. You go into it super confident because you're an expert. You know what you're looking for. And when you find that, you can jump on it because you've done the work of becoming the expert in what you're investing in. Number 3 is going to be, you want to make easy money. And this one kind of rides along the same lines as I was talking about in point number 1, that you don't have enough money. But this one is where, again, it's just getting portrayed, real estate investing is getting portrayed the whole wrong way on social media by so many of these people who just put all the highlights on their Instagram. Oh, this is how I went from $0 to $10,000 a month. This is how I did this. This is how I made $50,000 in 30 days. And all those can be true, but if you have like no money and you're just trying to get rich quick, it's not going to be the best form for you. Like in general, throughout the course of history, real estate investing has always been looked at as a long-term strategy because one of the biggest advantages of real estate is appreciation through the time period you hold the property. That's one of the biggest reasons people hold on to real estate so long is because it just keeps going up in value in most cases. So it's a long-term play. It's not one of these things that you get in and within 3 months you quadruple your money and you're all of a sudden a millionaire or something. It's not necessarily like that. And I'm not saying it can't be like that. Like there are people who make $90,000 in 60 days. I've talked to some of these people. But guess what? They've become experts in the strategy that they're going in. They know, and a lot of these cases are like, either they're flipping the house where they find a house that's in a dire situation, complete gut job, and they just redo everything, put it in, make it look super gorgeous, and put it on the market per usual and sell it like a regular house. That's how you make a big spread sometimes. But again, you have to know all your numbers. You have to know the contractors. You have to know the timelines to make sure that this will cover the cost of the hard money that is getting at a 12% interest rate. You have to know all this stuff so you're not losing your tail on your first deal because, oh, I can make 90 grand in 90 days. If it was that easy, wouldn't you think everyone would be doing it? Like, that's the thing that I just hate how it comes off in a lot of social media videos of, oh, put this in and you'll be able to make so much money, or whatever it is, Airbnb, all the hype stuff nowadays that people just see and they're like, ooh, money signs. Let's see how I can do that. You have to actually put some legwork in again to do this. It's a long-term strategy. And number 4 is going to go along with that long-term strategy. You just don't have the time to put into real estate, and you don't have the time to invest into learning about real estate. So this one's kind of a twofer. And on the first one, you just don't have, like, real estate is a time-consuming thing. Whether you're running numbers on deals to see if they work, whether you're just hunting for deals in general, whether you're nurturing relationships, whether you're dealing with tenants and property management stuff, or if you're like a first-time investor like I was, I bought the place and I did all the stuff that needed to be done. One, because I had money to invest, but I didn't have a ton of money, so I couldn't be paying contractors to do all this, like, not super hard work. Like, if it was anything structural or anything major appliance-wise, like fixing a furnace or a boiler or whatever, yeah, pay the professionals. But if it's just simple stuff like flooring, painting, doing, like, stuff just to update the property and get it looking pretty, I was doing that because 1, I wanted to learn, 2, I wanted to save money, and 3, like, I had the time when I was doing it, I had the time to invest into that. So it's just making sure that you actually have time to do it. Like, if you're a middle-aged person working 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week at your job, you have kids that you have to take to baseball practice or sports, whatever they play, and you have to do this, chances are you're not going to have a ton of time. So if you don't have a ton of time, you're going to have to pay for someone else's time, where then you lead down to number one again, that you don't have enough money. So that's why real estate takes money. It either takes a lot of time or a lot of money. And if you have neither, well, it's going to be kind of hard to succeed. And then on the second aspect of the twofer is actually investing time into learning about real estate, because again, you want to become an expert at real estate investing. So you have to have time spending learning by listening to podcasts. I like reading books and listening to podcasts. Those are my two go-tos. And then you just go in and actually put in the work, watching YouTube videos like this. You're watching it, you're doing great. You're learning, hey, I want to get into real estate investing, but maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe I'm a little too young. Maybe I'm not down the road enough, because guess what? Yes, of course you want to jump into real estate investing as soon as you can, because a lot of it, again, has to do with a long-term strategy. So the sooner you start, the sooner you reap the benefits, because you're playing into that timeline. But again, if you have to wait 2 to 3 years to start your investing journey in real estate investing with rental properties, chances are is going to be longer than 15, 20, 30 years. Like, you have a long timetable you're working with. Now, if you do want to get into real estate and make quick money and just start doing a bunch of crazy stuff to pick up stuff, maybe look into becoming a real estate agent. If you have any questions, let me know. That you can make some not easy, I shouldn't say that. You can make big chunks of money through transactions. I just want to be okay with my words, because becoming a real estate agent is not as easy as it looks. Trust me. Again, it takes money to make money in this situation too. Maybe you want to become a flipper. Maybe you want to do wholesaling. These are all possibilities to make money a little bit more quickly. But again, you're not really holding on to anything, because usually you're either, if you're in sales, you're selling it. If you're wholesaling, you don't own any of the property. And if you're flipping it, you're holding for 90 to 180 days max usually, and then you're selling it and getting rid of it. So you're not actually holding much property, where rental properties is you're buying and holding. That's the long-term strategy. So those are the 4 big topics I wanted to hit, because so many times I see on social media when I go scrolling at night, just as you probably do, trying to find some way that you can make more money and put your money that you have saved to work. And you're like, well, I want to do this. And everyone talks about how real estate investing is how the wealthy get really rich as they just keep investing in real estate. Guess what? They have money. They can do that. They have enough money to keep putting in to build their portfolios and make more cash flow, to basically keep doing that and making the snowball bigger and bigger, that it makes it easier and easier where they build wealth. So it's just kind of realizing that. And if you have to wait a year or two to save up 20, 30, 40 grand, how much you need to save is really dependent on what market you're going to be investing in. Because if you're looking in California, where a tiny little 1,000 square foot house goes for like over $1 million, that's going to need a lot more money to get going than if you're in like my market, where you can buy a duplex to a fourplex from anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000. So like, I can't tell you what you need to get going, but you have to first, I think, learn and start understanding how this actually works to determine if it's something that you should be jumping into, or maybe it's not for you, or again, maybe it's just not for you right now. Maybe it's better if you put your money into other things or into yourself, because that's one of the biggest investments, as Alex Hormozy says, into the school of you, I think he calls it, and just keep getting better so you build more skills so that you are worth more per hour, because your skills demand more money per hour. But anyways, enough of ranting. That was my video of the 4 things that you should really kind of assess, and real estate investing might not be for you right now, and that's okay. But if this added any value or you learned something new, please hit that like button and the subscribe button so that you don't miss another one of these videos. And again, my name is Shane Moynihan. I'm a real estate agent and investor out of Keene, New Hampshire. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest around this area, feel free to hit me up. Or if you just have questions about investing or kind of where you are in your journey, feel free to either drop a comment below or just send me a DM, and I'll be happy to answer and kind of have a little chat with you, see how I can help, if I can help. But until next week.